Welcome to the Real Football Fans of New Jersey. We are so happy to be joining you on this Wednesday. We are your podcast for all things football, housewives, wine, life, anything. You name it. This is episode 126. Welcome to you. Welcome to my co-host, Katie. How we doing?
Doing good. We got some pumpkins in the shot tonight. We are very happy. This is actually our second. I had to think for a second. This is our second September episode.
Oh, yeah. Wow. And September's just flying by, obviously. Where was our summer? And now here's fall. Bang, bang, right?
We're okay with it. Two girls who love fall.
Love the fall.
So we're happy.
My house is already decorated, all fall things. So.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I noticed that I only had the Halloween decor and Thanksgiving decor. I had to find that sweet spot of like just autumn decor. So I went out, spent way too much money at the Christmas tree shop, and now my house looks all autumn. So I'm so happy about it. But thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. This is again episode 126. So yes. Each week we either poll you, quiz you, ask for questions. We took questions from you. We have four great ones for you right now. As always, though, we are going live right now across Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So if you have questions for us during the live feed, send them our way. We'll answer.
Yep.
We ain't shy. We ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid to go. Spooky season. All right. Number one question. Thank you for this. Go to drink when watching games at home. Does it vary with the time of the game? I think this is a great question because we always talk about tailgating, food, drinks.
Yeah. Originally, when we got this question, I thought it meant like the month. You know what I mean?
Well, that could play a factor.
Okay, but no, now I get it because time of the games definitely changes. I mean, if we are tailgating for 1:00 and we get there super early, that's definitely mimosas.
Well, this is for when we're at home.
Oh, right. When we're at home. Okay, then no, it doesn't really change too much for me. I would say that no matter what the time of the game is, and also no matter what month it is.
Yeah.
I'm usually doing any kind of variation of pumpkin beers. My favorite is to actually go to one of my favorite liquor stores and make your own 6-pack. Different fall.
I did that, and I'm ready for the weekend. I might crack one open tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm ready for it.
That's definitely my go-to. Is just getting a nice smorgasbord of fall beers.
Yeah, I think mine definitely does depend on the time. Fortunately, the Giants do have a lot of 1:00 games. I'm a big 1:00 game gal. You know what I mean? I hate the night games. I can't stay awake. I'm a grandmother, but I usually like to have the fall beers, from the 1:00 to 4:00 games, just chilling, having a variety, hanging out.
The night games are wine.
The night games are wine, especially when the Giants are playing nighttime games. It's like it calms my jitters.
Yeah.
And then as it gets colder, a little bit colder, as the pumpkin beers fade out, I do find myself having a little bit of wine during the 1:00, 4:00 game. So
okay, all right.
Yeah. All right. Question number 2. What's the top fantasy defense you can't go wrong with? Oh, interesting question.
It's funny because I had my answer to this question and I was just kind of curious. And I think I went on ESPN to see how they ranked the fantasy football defenses. My answer is actually their 3rd ranked defense. But to me, it's like they just feel like a safe, surefire bet. I went with the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, I agree with them, being a safe pick. But I'm actually going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And they were ESPN's number 1 ranked defense.
Yeah, so. I actually do have them on one of my fantasy teams. So I'm pretty pleased for it, except for Monday night. I hope they shit the bed. They are actually without one of their major players on Monday, so that's good news for the New York Giants. But so I just think right now, like with the season that we're going into, that is the safest bet. I hope whoever asked that question, I hope you did your fantasy drafts already because we start tomorrow. So,
but maybe it's also just somebody maybe asked it just to hear validation, like, "Ooh, did I get a good one?"
Validation, or if you're trying to swap in and out,
absolutely,
bye week, things like that. But funny enough, so I'm actually kind of pushing forward this year. I'm in 3 fantasy leagues. I don't know how that happened. I usually just do
I can't believe it.
I'm in 3. I don't know how I'm going to keep control.
I'll help you, girl. If you need me to help, be co-GM.
One's going to get neglected, I think, and I'm just going to be like, you know what?
Pass it over to me. I got
the one out there. Question number 3, will the entire season be played?
Yeah, we've definitely seen this question quite a lot over the last few months, everything going on with COVID and this pandemic and sports in general in the world. I am going to say I feel pretty good about it. And so far, obviously, when they were in training camp, in a bubble, they were good. And we reported on the show that there were no positive cases amongst players for that 1 week straight. And I think still the numbers are really good. I just think the fact that the NFL has allowed more practice squad players, every team to have more of them. I think there's enough guys on the practice squad, enough undrafted rookies, undrafted free agents. I feel like if people go down, they can be replaced. And I do think they'll play the whole season.
So I'm going to agree with you and say, yes, the entire season will be played. Will it be a season like you've seen in the past?
Of course not.
Absolutely. Games are going to get postponed. New players are going to come in and out. You might see a team with their second string quarterback because God forbid something happened in a very strong game, something like that. You're going to see a lot of differences there, but I do think they will complete a season. I've said this on the show before. They're one of the strongest sports teams out there right now in the response to COVID-19. They've done pretty much everything right. We've seen it on Hard Knocks. They're doing a lot of stuff to keep this in play because they know the world needs football right now.
It's a very bittersweet thing for rookies who were trying to make football teams this year because they really do need that preseason to showcase what they can do in actual game settings. So I did feel really bad, but at the same time, this is the most crucial year for practice squad players. You can really be called at any second.
Well, that's what on Hard Knocks, and this is a good go into our fourth question because it does deal with Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks, every time they let a guy go over these past couple of weeks, they've said, listen, don't keep the phone.
Ready.
Keep the phone
keep
there.
Studying, keep
it might
going.
not be us, but someone might call you right after this. Don't. So, and it's definitely a fair point. So again, that does tie into our fourth question, which is a great one. Would you like it if Hard Knocks went a similar route again next year and covered the New York Giants and the New York Jets together?
I've always felt like seeing the Giants on Hard Knocks is like a catch-22. It's bittersweet. As much as I would love to get the inside access to the locker room and hear the players and watch them, and it would be so interesting, obviously, for me as a Giants fan. But I've always not wanted them to be on Hard Knocks because it's a distraction. I don't want people to see what the Giants are game planning, what they're scheming, know anything about us. I don't know. I don't know. It's tough for me. It's a 50-50 thing.
I think if it was just moving forward, they eliminate all of those rules and this is how we're going to pick two teams in the future. And that's how they kind of do it going forward. I'd be okay with it because it is what it is. But I did, while this season was particularly boring because there was just too much going on and not enough football and there was no football because no preseason, nothing. I liked looking at two teams.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. It was, the first time they did it and you had to wonder a little bit how it was going to go. I was completely fine with it. Different storylines for different teams.
See, that's why I thought
just adds storylines.
I thought maybe the teams would overlap. I think COVID, really shot that down real quick. Maybe in the beginning stages, they were maybe we can have them meet up or do something. I don't know, whatever. I don't know what I'm thinking right now. But if that's the case, it would be cool to see two New York teams too. So I'd be open to it.
I'd be open.
So those are our questions. Thank you so much for sending questions into us. As always, again, please ask us live on the show right now. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Yeah, well, before we get into it, we do have two little things, kind of big things, obviously, but this just broke. This is literally breaking news.
Literally, I was going to the
minutes right before we went live. It is official. Denise Richards will not be returning to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So you could quite possibly be hearing it here first. Again, breaking news on that. Not necessarily shocking, but it is a definitive statement there, and we're definitely going to, because this just broke, talk about it more next week when we get all the details and everything and the reactions from everybody. So
the reactions are already pouring in. So go on Instagram later. Keep listening to our show now.
Yes. And then we also want to talk about, and normally we say, happy retirement, congratulations to certain players, and this one is it's a tough one. But former Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker Ryan Shazier is officially retiring from the NFL today. In 2017, if you don't remember, it was very horrific. He suffered a spinal contusion when he was making a tackle.
I still have just thinking about it.
The Steelers actually, God bless them. I thought this was phenomenal. Yeah. They carried his contract for 2 years. They allowed him to remain with the organization on the PUP list, and so he could receive medical care, and that was amazing. Ryan is going to officially move on to the next chapter of his life, but I do believe that it'll still involve football.
Absolutely.
And he's definitely been an inspiration, and he's been doing the work and putting in the work to get better.
Yeah.
You know, seeing him walk, seeing him be featured at award shows, seeing him at games. He definitely seems like a very positive spirit for everything that he's been going through. And I really wish him the best of luck in whatever this next chapter brings for him.
He's truly a fighter, and we don't have to be Steelers fans to say thank you to him. Someone like that is just truly inspirational and really touches the heart of football fans, sports fans, just people in general. And I think the next chapter in his life is going to be something along the lines of encouragement, motivational speaking, things like that, because he truly is an inspiration. He's a leader, and you saw it on and off the field clearly. So
you don't play the linebacker position if you're not a leader.
And clearly he's tough as shit too. So kudos to him. Great career. Great kind of attitude after everything that happened, and just a big thank you. You don't have to be fans to say thank you.
Let's cheers to that one and have a long, awkward drinking pause after
sipping. I'm telling you, we need that soundboard, soundboard.
All right. Well, now we are officially going to get into our big stories of the week in the world of football. As you all know, the season is kicking off tomorrow. I can't even believe it.
They're multiplying, and I'm losing control. Sorry.
So both of these stories kind of pertain to the fact that the season's starting tomorrow. This is crunch time. Decisions need to be made.
Time.
We saw in Hard Knocks people getting cut. We do have, and just in general, everybody had to cut down to their 53-man roster. So you did see some notable names get released. We talked about Leonard Fournette last week.
Oh, I forgot to take that printer. Sorry.
But we do have some of the latest NFL signings right before the season starts tomorrow. So again, we talked about Leonard Fournette being released from the Jacksonville Jaguars last week on our show. Well, right after the show, he agreed to a deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for 1 year with a max value of $3.5 million. He reportedly had 2 other suitors. Head coach Bruce Arians did, in fact, state that Ronald Jones II will still be the team's top running back. But with a guy it's not like Ronald Jones is a Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott. So in my mind, if you're bringing in a Leonard Fournette, I do believe even if Jones is your top guy, it's going to be very much so a close to 50-50 1-2 punch running back situation.
I say this time after time, the Buccaneers just have to play a game. We got to see them out there. We got to see them on the field.
I'm dying to see what it looks like.
Let's just let it go, because that's even answering questions like this. You got to this could be right now. He's still going to be the team's top running back. You got to play a game though. You got to see how things are working. You got to see how all of these personalities that are coming together right now, how are they going to mesh with each other?
I was listening to SportsCenter the other day, watching SportsCenter the other day too, and somebody had made the comment about how teams who have a solid running game should be successful at the very beginning of the season, because they do expect the fact that there hasn't been preseason, there hasn't been game snaps, that you're going to more so focus on your run game because it's harder to get adjusted to your pass game. So teams are just going to run the ball, run the ball. So we'll see what happens, but it definitely helps to have good running backs on your team, on your fantasy football team. And we'll see what happens with that in that situation. But I know we're all dying to see that Buccaneers team and what they look like.
We are.
On Sunday, Houston Texans defensive end. I literally left it out, but Jadeveon Clowney left out his name, but we all know who I'm talking about. He signed with the Tennessee Titans on a 1-year deal worth a max value of $15 million. He was the top free agent left out there. He reunites and could have played a heavy part in his decision. He reunites with head coach Mike Vrabel after they were together in 2017 when Vrabel was Houston's defensive coordinator, which was also Clowney's best season that he's had in his career. Several teams were interested in him, including the Saints, who made a last-minute push, but too little, too late. So we finally have Clowney on a team. I know we We had hoped that maybe he would go to the Giants. I know my husband was really hoping he'd go to the Niners. Everybody was very interested in him.
Another player that we wish the Giants got. But
yeah, he ends up landing with a Tennessee team who I think is one of those teams that are like they hover around like will they or won't they make the playoffs. So who knows if a guy like that is going to make a difference for them.
Yeah.
On Sunday, the Washington football team's running back Adrian Peterson, he was released and he was signed. He's now signed with the Detroit Lions.
Very happy about this.
On a 1-year deal with a base salary of $1.05 million. He is now 35 years old. I want everybody to understand. Most of you do. 35 years old is ancient for a running back in the National Football League.
It's Adrian Peterson.
But it's Adrian Peterson, one of the best to ever do it. So he said
he's going to keep doing it.
He said he intends to play at least another 4 years. Unbelievable. If you don't remember, the Lions' lead running back is Kerryon Johnson, but he is coming off of an injury-plagued 2019 season. He is paired along with 2020 second-round pick DeAndre Swift. I know people were very intrigued with him, possibly for fantasy football, saw his name on the board and saw some people go after him. So that's a 3-headed monster, you know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. Can Kerryon stay healthy? A rookie is always a question mark. How quickly can he learn the playbook? And Adrian Peterson is definitely, because Kerryon Johnson's still young. So bringing in Adrian Peterson, you are bringing in that veteran presence at the running back position. And I think he's going to be an asset
like
to them.
The Lions, I think they need that.
Yeah, absolutely. So
a lot of movement there, and then a lot of movement in the quarterback competition race. So we are coming to a...
Just want to say a quick shout out to my nephew, Nico. He said, hi, Aunt Katie. Hi, Nico. Love you. Mwah.
Hi, Nico. That's so cute. Quarterback competition has come to a close across multiple teams here. So on Friday... thought this was particularly shocking, but head coach Matt Nagy of the Chicago Bears had informed everyone that QB Mitch Trubisky will be the week 1 starter over Nick Foles. So no preseason to evaluate. So obviously that comes into play there. Competition played out during practice. Trubisky is only 26 years old, which is beyond shocking. So I always forget how young these guys are. This is so random. Blake Bortles is my age. He's 28 years old.
I did know Blake Bortles was older.
I thought he was older than me.
No, it's actually it's been a while.
Since that was so random, but I just looked it up the other day for some reason. So he's entering his 4th season after being the number 2 draft pick, which is obviously very controversial nowadays with Mr. Patrick Mahomes doing his thing. But
I think the fact that he was the number 2 overall pick is probably the only reason they've still stuck with him after 3 seasons.
I understand that. It's a huge investment, not only like monetary wise, it's a huge investment like what's the reputation?
That's honestly why I was really shocked that the Titans gave up so quickly on Marcus Mariota.
And I agree
because he was the number 2 overall pick too.
They shouldn't have given up.
That really shocked me. I think when you pick a guy at 1-2 at the quarterback position, unless he's really, really, really bad. And some might argue that Mitchell Trubisky is, but I feel like you have to give him a shot. So not only do I feel like
give him a shot, I feel like they've given him a shot.
Yeah, not only because they drafted him at number 2, do I feel like he has been their starter for 3 seasons. I feel like it's another reason why he's kept his job going into the 4th year. Might as well just start with him, see how it goes, and then you could at least tell people, hey, we tried, and now we're going to bring in Nick Foles and see what he can do.
I feel like we're already at the point, though, of like, hey, we tried.
I know, but it's very hard to part ways with somebody that you did a number 2 overall pick on. But he's on an extremely short leash, and
we're talking about
it will only take a couple of games.
Let me tell you how short his leash is. When I had my old dog Rocky, he had a leather leash, and we left him on his bed, and he was laying down. We kept him on the leash. It was part of his training. It was a leather leash. My mom came back after something. He chewed the entire leash. He ate it. The only thing that was left was the little hook. That's how short Mitch Trubisky's leash is right now.
Yeah. I mean, think about it though. Like last year we knew Eli Manning's leash was short. But we didn't expect him to go out after 2 games. Like that could very well happen to Mitchell Trubisky.
And for I'm going to say Nick Foles coming in, who does well coming in.
Right. I'm going to say that if Trubisky and the Bears go like 0-3 to start the season, it'll be Nick Foles.
There's actually a couple of teams where if they go 0-3, their backups are coming in, moving into our second point. So yesterday, Miami's head coach Brian Flores announced, is it Flores or Flores? Sorry, Flores. You know me. Announced that QB Ryan Fitzpatrick Fitzpatrick will be the week 1 starter, which not like less surprising in my opinion here, and anticipated by many people. They're going to let Tua Tagovailoa take some time to learn on the sideline. He's also coming off that injury too, and he also just didn't have any snaps in preseason, so it makes sense for that too. And it's another team though that 0-3 Tua is going in.
Yeah.
If it's 0-3, but Ryan Fitzpatrick did Ryan Fitzmagic in those 3 losses, maybe I got to see what those losses look like. If they're tremendously bad losses, though, Tua's going in.
It's kind of feel like
I don't want them to rush Tua.
So it's a different situation between Chicago and Miami because Chicago, I feel like they do have playmakers. So if they're not winning games, like you can blame that on Mitchell.
And Nick Foles has also been in the league.
Whereas I feel like the Miami team in general is not good.
Do you want to do
so
that?
Are you going to put all the blame on Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Right.
We will have to see how those games look.
Or do you want all of that bad nonsense around a rookie quarterback?
Yeah, it's such a tough call for an organization, a GM, a head coach to make when you've got 2 guys who could potentially be capable, and who do you go with? And it is a week to week basis, a game to game basis.
And then finally, this one was particularly interesting because if you were watching Hard Knocks, you were seeing Tyrod Taylor and Justin Herbert go back and forth. And I think Justin Herbert really did show himself well. I was actually very intrigued with the detail into Tyrod Taylor too. I think he's a very
Hard Knocks fans got a good glimpse of Tyrod Taylor when he was with the Cleveland Browns, and we saw him 2 seasons ago.
I liked him in this.
He's a great leader.
He really is. He's very soft spoken. He reminds me of Eli almost.
You kind of understand. He leads by example.
He's very smart. Yes.
Yeah. He's you kind of understand when people still question how is he, and some people aren't getting chances. How is Tyrod Taylor still getting chances? You can tell that he's a really good leader. And he's also been great with Justin Herbert.
Oh, absolutely.
The same way he was with Baker Mayfield. Very supportive, just wants what's best for the team and to help them learn and grow. Yeah. But Justin Herbert, man, that kid could sling it.
He's got a cannon.
I think his whole issue is that he'll just have to learn the playbook. Yeah. But once he does, I'm afraid because he has
he's very predictable. That was one of the biggest critiques they gave him all camp, was that they knew which way he was going. And, Anthony Lynn had pulled him aside on one of the episodes and was like, listen, like I know what you did in college. Like you did great. He was like, but in the NFL, like a defender will pick the smallest thing up. He was like, watch Tyrod. Tyrod makes no movement. He calls the play. He's like a statue, and that's it. Right. He was like, you look the slightest bit to the left, someone knows you're doing something. Yeah. So that was one of his biggest critiques. And he gave it to him a couple times, which totally makes sense. So that being said, Anthony Lynn did name Tyrod Taylor the week 1 starter. So obviously Justin Herbert, rookie. Tyrod has started 46 games in his 9-year career. So again, 9 years in the NFL. Yeah. And then again, too, they want Herbert to just be, to get used to it, things like that. So I think that's fair.
This is no shocker for Tua and Herbert. Unless your name is Joe Burrow, then it just makes sense that your rookie quarterback is going to be sitting on the sidelines and getting used to the playbook and learning and trying to get better.
Hello.
So those are our big stories of the week in the world of football. We are going to come back to football during our game. It's a good one. We've been doing a lot. We still have football.
We're getting our picks.
Oh my God.
Because it's football season. We're not even thinking. We're not even thinking straight.
You are absolutely right.
Because I can't even believe that it's tomorrow.
No, it's crazy. Which means the fact that the NFL season starts tomorrow means that Caitlin and I are officially giving our week 1 picks, our first set of picks for the 2020 season, plus 1 lock, 1 upset. Yeah. We obviously do this every year. Let's just get right into it. Why don't you start
Mine's
first?
in a bit of a wonky order. So I've usually been able to download it from NFL.com, but I downloaded it from like some ratchet website. I don't even know. It was like gave me a virus on my computer. So I'm sorry for this being so out of order.
You're good.
So I am going with the Kansas City Chiefs, the Bears, the Ravens, the Vikings, the Colts, the Panthers, the Patriots, the Bills, the Eagles, the Seahawks, the Bengals, the 49ers, the Saints, the Cowboys, the New York Giants, and the Broncos. My lock is the Baltimore Ravens over the Cleveland Browns, and my upset is the New York Giants over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right. I think
I went really fast there.
Even you did go super fast, and because we're not in the same order, right? I was like trying to like catch.
It's confusing. I don't know
why
it's all right. Like that.
I do think we have a lot of similar picks.
I'll take a listen.
All right. So for week 1, I am taking Kansas City, the Eagles, New England, Minnesota, the Colts, the Bears, the Panthers, the Bills, the Ravens, the Seahawks, the Bengals, the 49ers, the Saints, the Cowboys, the Steelers, and the Titans.
So we have two the two
okay.
And it's the Steelers and the Titans you picked. I picked the Giants and the Broncos.
Okay, all right.
What's your lock and your upset?
My lock, I did have your lock of originally. I switched it last minute. I did originally have Baltimore over Cleveland. I have now switched it to the season opener. I do think that I
think that's fair.
The Chiefs over the Texans. I actually just don't think the Texans are going to be competition for them. I really don't.
I think that's fair. And actually, after I picked the Ravens, I was thinking too, like how we always talk about how that
they play close
too. I just don't think the Browns are going to come out opening day.
I don't think so either, but
maybe like the second time they meet each other, it'll be a wild ass game, like a tie or something. Not the first game. Game.
And my upset, because this was one of the worst teams in football last year, or the worst team in football last year. And I think we're just going to like start off the bandwagon nice and early. I'm going Mr. Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals over the Los Angeles Chargers, which you picked them as well, right?
Did I?
I think you did pick the Bengals, but that technically to me is an upset.
I did. No, it is. Yes, absolutely. I did.
So there we have it. Our week 1 picks. Good luck to everybody who's doing pick'ems, Survivor leagues, anything like that.
Are you doing your Survivor pool?
No, they completely and utterly like changed the format. No, it's really wonky.
I was going to ask,
really
can I be a part of it?
I'm very upset. If anybody has a Survivor pool, we have like less than 24 hours to join.
Let us know.
Let us know, please. Yeah. I would love to do it.
Yeah, maybe next year we can start our own.
Yeah.
Screw it. All right. So let's get into the big stories of the week for Housewives. Again, we will be coming back to football shortly. So hang on to your tails. And for all our Housewives people, we've got a wedding update.
2 wedding updates.
Ooh, 2 weddings. Wedding bells are ringing no matter if coronavirus is stinging. That was so lame of me, but I just...
Did that just come to you now?
You did.
I like it. I dig it.
Thinking on my toes. It's marketing for you. No, Katie just snorted, so I know it was funny. Okay, so on Sunday, Atlanta's Cynthia Bailey took to Instagram to announce that her and her fiance, Mike, will still be tying the knot on October 10th as previously planned. So in August, they said their plans were up in the air, months ago, last month, months before, everyone's plans were up in the air, and thought that it would be postponed due to COVID. But, I've seen a handful of weddings going on. Some respectful, some not respectful of the guy. I think I've seen maybe a couple, maybe not people that I know, like on like the Twitter and like
just people that I personally know, things that I've seen on my own like personal Instagram. Yes. I've definitely seen everybody, taking the rules seriously and everything like that. And to be honest, I gotta tell you, some of these like intimate like backyard ceremonies with just your close knit family, I think is really special. And
I think I'm happy for the people.
I'm happy for the people that are doing it, because it definitely stinks to have to postpone your wedding, let's say a year out. We don't even know what's going to happen a year out at this point. And so I think, love is love, and go out there and marry your person. And I'm all about it.
Heard it here first. Love is love.
Love is love.
Just kidding. You did not hear that here first. Love is love, though.
We cannot trademark that.
We cannot. We are going to get hunted down after this episode. So former New Jersey cast member Kathleen Wakili. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Hells yeah. Daughter Victoria was set to be wed this past weekend, but she has in fact postponed it until 2021. Yeah. So as much as I was good with my rhyming before, this one will unfortunately go to 2021.
Yes.
But many people are still,
which is okay too, if that's the route that you want to go.
Yeah, why not?
I feel for all the brides out there and the grooms. And so whatever works best for you, whatever is going to make you happiest, it's still going to be your big day and what you want and what's going to make you happy. And
listen, at the
you got to roll with the punches.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you are marrying your best friend, hopefully. And that is the most important thing in the world. So you go, you do that, and you can celebrate and get wasty pants later.
Yes. And I can't wait till we eventually and obviously with Cynthia on October 10th, give proper congratulations for them and everybody else who finally gets to get hitched.
Absolutely. Looking forward to both weddings. Yes. And if any of our fans are getting married, let us know.
Yeah. We'll give you a shout out. We'll come, we'll crash.
We'll come.
Or we'll just crash.
We'll send you some merch once you get it.
Yes. So. Okay, so our next big story of the week in the world of Housewives comes from Orange County. I think it's pretty big.
Because it was in the preview. So.
It teases apart, we have the trailer out for season 15, Real Housewives of Orange County. I think it does not have a set premiere date yet, but I believe it's coming in December. But this is about Gina. And with season 15 set to premiere and the new trailer tease, we will finally see Gina's ex-husband, Matt, on the new season for the first time ever.
Yeah.
That's a big deal because obviously we've spoken a lot about Matt. He's a huge storyline on Housewives without actually ever appearing.
People probably listen to our podcast and are like, that guy's on the show.
Huge storyline on our show. We've definitely reported many stories about him and Gina. They've definitely, a lot of negative stories revolving around their relationship, getting in trouble with the law. But the show will document the relationship following their divorce in 2019. Gina said she reportedly tries her best to co-parent throughout the season. And she does eventually, I don't know what it entails, but she's going to be making a tough decision regarding him that could change their family dynamic. I kind of wonder if it possibly has to do with I don't know, moving, leaving California. She is in a new relationship. Yes. She had revealed in season 14 that Matt had been unfaithful during their marriage. So on top of that, there were other things that came to light that we talked about. The divorce was finalized last year, and then Gina began a new relationship with her boyfriend, Travis.
Isn't it wild that he's coming on after everything is done?
I mean, maybe he wants to tell his side of the story. There's all these stories out about him and everything like that.
Sign us up, baby.
Yeah.
Get him on camera now.
But she did begin that relationship with her boyfriend, Travis, last fall. They moved in together after 6 months of dating with their combined 6 kids. Wow. So I'm sure we're going to be obviously seeing him on the show as well. And we're just going to see how that all plays out. But I'm very intrigued. It feels like we're finally meeting the mystery man, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think it's just crazy that he's coming on after all this stuff. But how did they even broach that conversation? Was it him being like, hey, Gina, I want to be on the show now because I want to get my story out? Or was he like, hey, Bravo?
Or Bravo approached him.
Or that. That's what
Bravo
I'm saying.
Bravo could have, especially with all these hot, juicy stories that have come out about the two of them, it's no doubt in my mind that it was probably Bravo that approached him.
Or if you did watch the trailer, anyone listening, I thought it's going to be a weird ass season, to be perfectly honest. And I've been taking my hiatus from Orange County, and I've been kind of, watching as I please because they piss me off to no end.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking too is that you'll see a lot of it is during COVID. So it's like a weird dynamic. So maybe they're like, we need more storylines. Get him on the phone.
Yeah, it could be. It wouldn't surprise me at all. So
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. All righty. So let's get into our game. Football. So we are playing a game called Katie and Caitlin's Before the 2020 Kickoff Power Rankings.
Yes.
So basically what we're going to do, given that tomorrow starts the 2020 NFL season, we're going to give our definitive team power rankings, but they're grouped into the following categories. So this may sound confusing because it was confusing for me. So maybe, but it might not sound confusing for you guys.
It's not.
So basically we looked at all 32 teams, but then we also looked at these categories.
Yeah.
My number one spot, the cream of the crop, could snatch wild card spots, sitting at home for the playoffs, and good luck at the draft, in parentheses, the worst of the bunch.
Yeah.
So basically we grouped in there. There's it could be multiple people. It could be some teams in there or not.
Right.
But we still did put a number behind them from 1 to 32.
Yes.
So a power ranking.
Yep.
So how do you want to go about doing this?
Let's just do them together. We'll both give our number one spot and so on and so forth.
So let's go with our number one spot. Who do you have for the number one?
I don't know how people would argue this. Go with the reigning Super Bowl champions in the Kansas City Chiefs, number one.
I agree. Show you my pumpkin. I agree. Okay, so the cream of the crop. So now that we're getting into like multiple people, your numbers could be wonky. Mine only get wonky until the second spot.
And we also don't have to have the same amount of teams in each category. So
That's
for example,
true.
the cream of the crop, I picked 5 teams that fall into this category for me.
Oh, well, I picked 10. So there we go.
There you go.
So why don't you go ahead and get started? Who is your cream of the crop and the number slated to them?
Yep. So
the power ranking slated to them.
In order, the cream of the crop, I'm going number 2, the Baltimore Ravens. Number 3, I'm going the San Francisco 49ers. Number 4, the New Orleans Saints. Number 5, the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh,
and number 6, the Green Bay Packers.
We were so close, Katie.
That is my cream of the crop. We were close?
We were so close.
All right, let's hear yours. You got 10 of them.
I have 10 cream of the crops. So my number 2 is the Ravens. Number 3, the 49ers. Number 4, the Saints. Number 5, the Vikings. Number 6, the Seahawks. 7, the Packers. 8, the Bills. 9, the Patriots. And 10, the Cowboys.
Interesting. Interesting. I got to tell you, though, and I guess you obviously agree with me, that 1 through 4, like the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Niners, and the Saints, that to me, they're almost the 4 of them are on a top category, then other people are almost below them,
it could have been like the best of the best, and then maybe the cream of the crop.
Right,
but I think the cream of the crop means that. So another way of saying it.
But those 4 to me, it's like, you could possibly see you've got 2 AFC teams there, 2 NFC teams there. Those could be the NFC AFC championship matchups. So
Agreed. All right, so let's go to our next part where it's could snatch wild card spots.
Yeah, so for this one, I have teams 7 through 14. Could snatch wild card spots. Number 7, I'm right there with you in ranking the Minnesota Vikings pretty high.
Minnesota Vikings.
Number 8, I have the Dallas Cowboys. Number 9, I have that question mark team of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right.
Number 10, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 11, I definitely saw people rank them higher, including yourself. I have the Buffalo Bills at 11. Number 12, I have the New England Patriots. Number 13, I have the Indianapolis Colts. And number 14, my dark horse, because I did say that they would make the playoffs, the Denver Broncos.
Okay, all right. I'm happy you have the Broncos higher up.
I had to. Last week I said they were going to make the playoffs, so I've got to put them in playoff spots.
So for my could snatch wild card spots, I have rankings 11 through 18 and then a specialty at the end.
Okay.
So it doesn't, so you'll see. But you'll see what I'm talking about here. So at number 11, I have the Falcons.
Whoa.
Number 12, I know, I put them pretty high up.
Wow, that's unlike you.
I know, because they piss me off to no end. I swear to God, don't ruin that
Very
for me.
interesting. Yes. Okay.
Number 12, the Steelers. 13, the Buccaneers.
Okay.
And I thought that was pretty conservative for me because I'm not fully buying into that hype.
I think that's fine. I think that's kind of where they hover around.
14, I went with the Eagles. 15, I went with the Rams.
Okay.
16, the Broncos. So I put them higher up because I've been enjoying your analysis of them. So I'm feeling it for sure. 17, I went with the Texans. 18, the Colts. And then I do at this with a snatching the wild card spot because I did say it last week with the New York Giants, but I'm giving them the 23rd ranking overall. Okay. So they don't follow up with 19. They are 23 for me, but they fall into this category. Got it. That's where it could get a little confusing, but that's the only part where I'm confusing you guys tonight, I promise.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is tricky because last week we were on the show and we gave our playoff predictions. And so, yes, if I'm going to sit here and predict like a team like the Broncos are going to make the playoffs, well, then I have to put them in the category of snatching a wild card spot. You know what I mean? So totally understand that.
All right. So sitting at home for the playoffs.
Right. Not the worst of the bunch, but they're not making the playoffs.
But they ain't
I have my rankings from teams 15 to 24. So 15, I have the Tennessee Titans. 16, I have the Los Angeles Rams. 17, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. 18, I have the Houston Texans. 19, I have the Cleveland Browns. 20 is where I have the Atlanta Falcons. 21, Los Angeles Chargers. 22, Arizona Cardinals. 23, Oakland Raiders. And 24, Carolina Panthers.
All righty. So my sitting at home for the playoffs involves teams 19 to 28, but obviously
that's a lot. Okay.
Yeah, but that 23 marker is missing. Right. So at 19, I have the Panthers. 20, I have the Cardinals. 21, I have the Chargers. 22, I have the Browns. 25, wait a minute. I screwed this up. 24, I have the Lions.
Okay.
25, I have the Bengals. 26, I have the Jets. 27, I have the Titans. And 28, I have the Bears.
Ooh, I just want to ask you why the Titans at 27.
And it's funny because last week too, I did pick them for a potential wild card.
And they're coming off a really great
I actually picked them to potentially win that division. But I think just as time has gone on, and I just really reevaluated a lot of
even
stuff
with
going
Clowney
on there. I know, and it's definitely it could be a deal breaker.
They're also playing a really terrible division.
No, I know. Well, listen, the whole AFC is trash in my opinion. Honestly,
I don't necessarily disagree with that.
I'm not saying
don't necessarily disagree.
So I think as I was really looking at every team together, maybe when I looked at the AFC when we were picking teams, I was like, wow, they really stand out. But when I was grouping every single team together, they kind of fell further and further down the list.
All right. Very interesting. Yeah. All right.
So finally, we end with good luck at the draft. So the worst of the bunch.
Yeah, you only have a couple here, right? I have teams.
A little offended you put the Giants in here, but that's okay.
I mean, I'm like it feels like every year a couple of games go by and you're already like, okay, who are we going to draft? Because that's what we have to look forward to. So. All right.
I have faith until we are literally kicked out of the playoffs. So
I have teams 25 through 32 here. So
which is a fair number. So
25, I have the New York Jets. I knew she would give crap for that one too, because I have them ahead of the Giants. 26, I have the Chicago Bears. 20 anybody before them. Here they are, number 27, the New York Giants.
Katie.
Listen, I have to be realistic. They were one of the worst teams in football last year, the year before that. 28, I have the Detroit Lions. 29, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. 30, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. 31, I have the Miami Dolphins. And 32, I have the joke that they are, the Washington football team.
So we definitely agree at the late round here.
Itty bitty end.
So I actually have 29 to 32 for my good luck at the draft. At 29, I'm going with the Raiders. 30, the Jaguars. 31, the Dolphins. And 32, Washington.
I will say, for the most part, we hovered around each other. Yeah. And honestly, I gave my rankings and then I was very curious to see, because a lot of analysts, it's on NFL.com, you can see what they said. Yeah. A lot of analysts today were giving their power rankings before the start of the season. And I was kind of like, okay, well, for this team, they have them at 10 and these people have them at 13 and these people have them at 15.
It's so flexible.
It is. Yeah. And it's very hard. There are plenty of teams, for example, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's like, where do you put a team like that? Teams that have new quarterbacks, a team like the Bengals, yes, they were the worst team in football last year. What are they going to do with Joe Burrow? There are question marks, but I would say for the most part, you and I hovered around each other.
Yeah,
so.
I agree.
All right. Good game. Cannot wait. And I always, by the way, we keep these notes. Obviously, we have these sheets. We have these notes. We send them to each other. They're saved on our computers. I love looking back at the end of the year and seeing oh my God, I thought that. I said that. I thought this was going to be a playoff team. Because every year there's always a team or two that surprise you. A team or two that should have been good that disappoint. So I love looking back.
Last year it was funny. I was 100% sold that the Ravens were winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I mean, look what the Titans did in the playoffs. Nobody could have predicted that. So definitely crazy things happen, and we'll definitely take a look back on it.
Faux show.
Many moons from now. But
yeah.
All right. That point in the night where we are going to get it off our chest. Positive, negative, football, housewives, life, wine, the fall, summer ending. We're okay with it. We love the fall. Pumpkins. We're good.
That's why I get it off my chest.
We're fine. But anyways, why don't you start it off for us?
So I'm totally kicking myself in the ass because Katie and I are very diligent with our notes. And I printed something out and did not bring it with me, but I think I'm good except for one person. So I want to talk about the Giants 2020 captains pick.
I could pull it up for you while you're
I'm blanking the one guy.
Nate Ebner.
Yes. Thank you.
I knew that's who it was going to be.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got you, girl. He's our special teams captain with Jabril Peppers. So and then on offense, you have Saquon Barkley and Mr. Daniel Jones. And our defense is Dalvin Tomlinson, my boy, and Blake Martinez.
Yep.
Okay.
Newbie. Yeah. But so, a leader, a veteran.
So this is why I'm liking it. I'm loving these captains because you have a mixture of your young and old, you're new. And by old, we mean Saquon Barkley, who's like 3 days old. You know what I mean? Like so looking at the Giants team right now, it's a young team. And new faces, whether they're veterans or not. So you look at a guy like Blake Martinez, he's brand new to the organization. Right. He could have been in football for how long, but it's not that long, but like it's just new. So there's so many people that like you look at a guy like Zach Diossi who decided to retire. He's always been our special teams captain, been there for years, you know, Super Bowl champ, but now there's not a lot of, while they're familiar faces to us, there's not a lot of familiar faces to outside the organization and fan base. All the OGs are gone. I obviously know it's no shit. Daniel Jones is the captain, but it's just I love it. I love it. I'm
super proud of the young guys.
I really am
stepping into those roles.
Love the Dalvin Tomlinson pick. At defense.
Me too.
I believe that last year, while the season didn't go in our favor, I think he really stepped up.
He was a bright spot.
He really was.
A team that didn't have many.
He's very talented. I think he's going to do work for us. He is a leader. Love a pick like Blake Martinez. Remember when Alec Ogletree came in?
Yeah, I was going to say him too.
He made an impact immediately.
And he was a captain.
He was a captain right away. And I think I said that on the show. I loved that pick at him being captain.
And again, I said it earlier in the show. You play linebacker. You have to be a leader. Like
absolutely,
you are the vocal point of the defense.
Yes, I love the Jabril Peppers pick.
Yep.
He is such an interesting individual because he is our safety.
He's the Swiss Army knife.
Yes, but he is so versatile, and with a team that our defense is so questionable.
He's going to play safety. Yeah. He's going to play cornerback. He has to. He could line up at linebacker. Like he's going to do everything,
and he's going to do it, and he's more than capable of doing it. I'm really happy because he clearly is showing that he physically can do it, but that he mentally can do it too as a leader. So,
and I don't know how many people remember, or maybe you forgot, but like we got Jabril Peppers like as a part.
I hate when that happens.
We got Jabril Peppers as a part of that Odell Beckham Jr. trade, and obviously that was a really shocking trade for a lot of Giants fans and just fans of the NFL in general.
Like that night, you were shocked, but now look, we're talking about Jabril Peppers as our captain.
Jabril Peppers is really going to have to be the guy on defense. He really has to step it up for us because we've already had injuries happen before the season even started, and he's crucial to the defense. So.
And then I apologize. Who the hell is that other guy?
Nate Ebner.
Okay.
I think he used to be with the New England Patriots. So I think he was a Pro Bowl special teamer for the New England Patriots. So previously,
so clearly he's coming
with
over
Joe Judge.
Joe Judge. Yeah. Right. That makes sense. But congratulations to you anyway. I'm sorry I don't give you a spiel.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, it's a special teams captain. Yeah. So if you're coming in and you've been a special teams Pro Bowler, you're.
So hats off to you. I'm loving these captain picks. I truly am. It's just.
I like it as well.
It's
good picks.
A step in the right direction. We're little wins right now. Little wins. Take them as you get them. So that was my get it off my chest. It's definitely positive, and I'm just I love Giants football. I just can't wait.
I know. Very excited. Hate it every year, by the way, where week one we always play in prime time. So whether we have a Sunday night or a Monday night game, and then Sunday during the day comes, all the 1 o'clock games, the 4 o'clock games, and I'm just sitting there like, I need to watch our team. I need to watch. Like,
now it's killing Monday.
Now it's Monday night. That's going to be brutal.
You know what I am going to do though? You know I'm going to wear my onesie Monday night.
I like it. Yes.
I don't care how
light some fall candles, baby, and
pour a glass of wine. You're good to go. Hell to the I'll send you all pics. Don't worry. I'll post it to our Insta.
My get it off my chest real quick is tomorrow night. I did see that on Watch What Happens Live. Heather Thompson, former Roni cast member is going to be on. I mean, I can't remember the last time she was on the show because she's not a housewife anymore,
when
right?
What Happens Live came out.
She's not a housewife anymore, so we don't see her. She is coming on the show, and apparently she has said that she has a big announcement to make. So this girl's fingers are crossed. We've talked about this, like we've played games, we've gotten questions. Like,
who do you want back?
Who would we want back? And my housewife, my number one, I mean, obviously I want Bethany back, but this was even before Bethany was gone and stuff like that. I always wanted Heather back. I thought she was so fun. I thought she was great. Yeah. And to be honest, I feel like the fact that, you know, now Dorinda's leaving. They said that there's going to be a shakeup with the cast. Leah was new and she's much younger. And she was like one of the best rookies, if not the best rookie in Housewives history.
We'll have to have a game on that one time. Yeah, or just an analysis of them. Because I would confidently sit here right now and say that she's the new Dorinda, because Dorinda, you almost forget, was not an OG. She came in season 7, but she came in fire. We're gonna have to go back and watch season 7 though, because like we're gonna have to do a real deep dive on this. Let's do it. I'm excited. So the fact that Leah was so successful and she is younger, and then you have people like Tinsley who were younger, and it just makes me wonder if they're gonna go in that direction. Last week, Caitlin and I did speak on the show about how we don't want to see people like Ramona and Sonia like ever leave, but realistically, if this show is on 10 years from now, they're not going to be on.
Ramona would be 70 years old, and that's not going to be happening. No. So if they are moving in a direction of going younger, Heather is she is younger, and I would love to have her back. I am praying that tomorrow night that is the announcement, and if it is, check our Instagram. We will be posting it. I'll be very, very excited.
You'll get Katie's reaction.
And we would be talking about it next week on the show. My fingers are crossed. I think she would be great also too, because I do think I could see her really vibing with Leah.
Yeah.
So I think Leah kind of is at a place where
how was she?
So now that Tinsley's gone, Leah does not have like a young sidekick with her. She doesn't have a sidekick. It's her and all these older women. And there are times where I think she, like, as much as she loves them, it's kind of like awkward a little bit because they feel like her moms. And I think that this would be she needs a sidekick.
How did she get along with the other women that are on? I feel like I'm blanking.
Heather was super close with Carol.
Okay. But the current ladies, like,
she didn't fight with anybody really. Yeah. Like, she didn't have massive.
Well, wasn't she the one with Luann with the "Don't be uncool"?
Yeah. But they were friends. Like, they were good.
Yeah.
That was just a small little moment.
I was gonna say that's like my most memorable Heather moment.
And we saw there was a great to see you.
I'm just trying to remember
Ramona, as much as crazy as Ramona is, when Ramona saw her, she was like, "Oh, you look beautiful." Yeah. Like, I think she fits in fine. I don't think there's any beef there. So I think she could come back in and things would be smooth sailing.
That's fair.
All right, that's my getting off my chest.
That was good. No, both of us, definitely good ones. Great show tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yes.
If you are listening to us live, but if you're also listening on the pod, we do have we don't know when you're listening on the pod, so but just remember, this is Wednesday.
Yes.
This is Wednesday. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion part 2. Part 1 was spicy AF on that Zoom call tonight at 9 p.m. Again, it is Wednesday. What's today's date?
The 9th.
It is the 9th.
September 9th.
September 9th. 9 p.m. Roni reunion part 1 tomorrow. Holy guac.
That's in person, not on Zoom.
In person. They've got their masks. They're 6 feet apart.
Yep.
We already spoke about it. It looks wild as hell.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, September 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Oh, this is Eastern time, guys. Potomac is on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then, listen, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, baby.
We have the date, everyone.
November 11th.
11/11. That's good luck, baby. I'm ready for this new franchise.
But it's 11/11/2020. So I'm like, is that lucky? I don't really know.
Imagine like getting married on what day of the week is 11/11/11?
I don't know.
I hope it's like a Friday or Saturday, and I'm just gonna throw in 11/11/11 party. Oh no, it can't be.
It can't be.
It's 21. Oh my God,
Katie's pushing us back 8,000 years. We're going back to 11.
Maybe we should go back in time. Times are a lot simpler.
We're going back to the 11. I don't even know if it's
losing it. 11/11/21. Wow. Wow, Katie. Wow.
Katie's making me.
Can we like edit that part out?
No, we're keeping it. It's already live to our audience. So you already said it. People don't forget. So the premiere did come out. Katie and I did watch the trailer. It is out. The trailer is interesting. We could probably get into it a little bit.
I said interesting is like I texted Caitlin and I was like, I don't know how else to describe this other than one word. Interesting.
Yeah. And listen, you guys are going to get your Mormons.
Unlike anything you have ever seen before.
You're getting your Mormons and you're getting like 3 or 4 other religions that I've never even heard of. So buckle in or buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. And then the most important thing, holy guacamole, the NFL 2020 season opener is tomorrow night, Thursday, September 10th. So we're clearly not watching Roni tomorrow. We'll get back to you on that one. We'll catch it on demand Thursday at 8:20 p.m. Houston against Kansas City. And then you get Sunday Night Football. There's so much going on. Dallas at the Rams. Then you get Monday Night Football.
Doubleheader.
I ain't watching the second game. Because at 7:20, the New York Giants. Is it 7? I think it's the 7 o'clock game. Let's do that forever. Always be 7 o'clock.
Okay.
7:20 or whatever. Pittsburgh is at the New York Giants, which is so sad. We can't be there.
Yeah.
And then you have Tennessee at Denver. It's a 10:20 game. You bet your ass I'm going to be sleeping.
You bet your ass I'm still going to watch it.
I am. I'll to the no.
I'll maybe watch half. I'll probably go to bed too. I'll probably go to bed too. Yeah.
If our games, I can't. Especially if I gotta go to bed. I gotta make a depressed sleep. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Cheers. Again,
happy football season. Good luck in fantasy. Good luck to your real life teams.
Good luck to everything. Go Giants.
Go G-Men.
I'm kidding. Just no, seriously, screw them. Bye.